Okay, so focusing on today, it's a new moon, which is in Cancer. And if you have a look at the tarot spread and the journal questions and the keyword infographic that I have sent through for tonight, you guys will see there is a lot of love stuff in there. There's a lot of feeling stuff in there. There's a lot of emotional self-care, all that jazz in there. And I wanted to say that, okay, there was a gap that I had now where I didn't send anything for you guys for probably 2 months, and I'll be honest, I was going through quite a rough patch recently. I feel just there was a lot of general upheaval, with me moving and going through all these different changes, and just a lot of things just happening at the same time. And then there was the eclipses, and there was supermoons and shit, and Mercury was in retrograde, and I was done, so done. I'm not gonna lie, I was just absolutely just steamrolled, just verpletterd is a great word in Afrikaans. So I'm only now starting to feel slightly better. And I think that's just because Mercury has just moved out of its shadow period, which I'm so fucking grateful for. You Mercury, sorry. But I really am just dude, I'm so done. And we've had Uranus in retrograde, and there's been all these hectic conjunctions, which is planets just basically screwing each other off and be yo motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck you up. If you don't know anything about astrology, that's exactly how it works. That's what they're doing right now, probably minus the swearing. But it's been hectic, and I think you guys have probably felt that too, and just had this general sense of just absolute being drained, and just you're in a tumble dryer or something, and being when is it gonna stop? It's probably not going to stop for a while, but it is going to be a little bit better, and we do get a little bit of a break right now because we have Uranus in, is it Uranus or Neptune? One of them is in retrograde again, but one of them is good. Good things happen when this one is in retrograde. I'm going to get my book because I don't actually know, and I don't want to lie to you. But basically, so when this dude goes into retrograde, it's he's the planet of luck, and it means good things are gonna happen. So I'm really hopeful for that. I can't find it now. I think it might be Neptune though. Ooh, not that one. Someone's in retrograde, and someone brings good luck and opportunities. Okay, just take my word for it. But we've come out of this Mercury retrograde, but Saturn's doing a whole bunch of shit, and so it's still not going to be easy. But Venus is here, and Venus is spreading love, and Cancer is all about feelings, so there's that whole combination that's happening. And this is all about feelings and love and emotions and relationships. Anyway, so I pulled 3 tarot cards for us for today, and 3 little oracle cards, and I'm just going to go over them quickly. So the first card that I pulled is the Strength card in reverse, and if you can see there, that chick is such a badass. She's currently tamed a lion. In the upright position, you can see that lion's just chilled, man. She's literally got her fingers in its mouth, and it's just this is fine. So Strength in reverse. So reversals talk about, internal energy or the shadow aspect of something. And Strength in reverse for me personally feels a little bit more having inner strength, inner feelings, inner I want to say controlling internal things. It's having inner strength within yourself. So even if you're going through the most right now, having that inner strength and that inner guidance and that inner power and that inner will, but also in a way, because it's in reverse, strength in reverse, it's normally about control. It can also be talking about letting go of control. And I think that in this case, because it's in the Cancer new moon, and because we're talking about release, because Cancer is very much emotional signs, very deep emotions, and it is also talking about having release. So like now is a really good time for a massive fat cry if you've been like me, where you've been feeling just like the worst. Yeah, so having like a fat cry, just writing about your feelings, screaming into a pillow. If you have a punching bag, maybe use it now. Just try not to stab anyone, because that would be bad. But you know, just finding whatever you need to kind of do to just get a little bit of release and letting go of control. I mean, this has been coming up so much, not only in my readings, but I think for a lot of you guys as well that I've spoken to in your readings. It's also just like learning to release, learning to let go, learning to trust, learning to go with the flow. And then the corresponding card that we got, the oracle card we got, is by the book. And this one's talking about rules, conformity, respecting cultural and family customs, and universal laws. And in a way, it kind of speaks to the strength card, because it is about that control, or that like binding, having that sort of like overarching sense of, you know, you got to follow the rules a little bit. And like, if you're not going to follow the rules, I'm going to make you follow the rules. So there's that. But in this thing, it's talking about universal laws. And it's like, you know, laws that... It says, release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws, and it'll be easier to go by the book at this time. So basically, it's like saying, don't worry, the universe has got the shit. Like, even if you're going through the most with another person or whatever, or if things are feeling really unfair at the moment, like, don't worry. Just trust that it's all going to work out. We're going to be fine, and shit's going to be okay. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is like a really great card, and I don't know if you guys can see this, like a tiniest little snail at her feet. It's like my favorite thing about this card is that there is a snail. But I mean, look at this woman. She's got everything, dude. Like, she's got, you know, wealth. She's got abundance. She's got a motherfucking hawk. I don't know why I keep saying motherfucker today. I'm sorry. But she's got a hawk. And she even has a pet snail because she's cool like that. But, you know, she's really got everything going on for her. And that's like talking about like abundance. It's talking about she has everything that she needs within herself. And it's kind of like in her personal garden. So I'm looking at this in a very like a personal way, for all of us right now. To, even though things might be hard, and though things are really difficult sometimes in our lives, it's important to remember what we actually do have around us, what the abundance that we have in our lives. And, you know, maybe I want to say creature comforts, because she's got this hawk, she's got the little snail, creature comforts, and she is fondling the coin, which is weird, but she is. I mean that, like, she really is fondling the coin. Check. She's like holding on to it, or she's eating grapes, I don't know. But anyway, so it's talking about just being like having everything that you need right there in front of you, and being appreciative of it, you know, because she's like looking at the hawk, and she's like fondling the coin, and she's like really into it, and you know, she's just having a great time. So I feel like that's is like symbolic of us also just being very appreciative of what we have in our lives. And, you know, but also, you know, maybe because we've got the second card, which is talking about imagination. So imagine right here, and there's a dude holding onto the moon, and like there's light coming from there, and it's like there's like two little portals right here at the bottom, if you can see them where my finger is. So I'm kind of like, cool, well, imagine all the amazing things that you could have. And if you don't have them right now, the new moon is a perfect time to manifest them. So get to it. So if you want what she's got going on here, and you don't feel like you have it just yet, then you need to start imagining and using your imagination to set manifestation goals and get what you want. So yeah, that's great. And then exactly. So the essential meanings of this card, if I'm reading the book, it says turning imagination into manifestation, creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imagery and feelings, creativity and illusions. So think about what you want, yo, and manifest it during this new moon. Then finally we have the Hermit card. And this poor dude is on a solitary mission. This is actually Virgo's card. This is my card, yo. Got cut off again. So I was talking about the Hermit card, and I was saying that this guy's on a solitary mission over here. He is kind of carrying this light in the dark. So the Hermit card always talks about like an internal journey and a journey of introspection. And if you look at the journal questions that I have posed to you for this new moon, you'll see that a lot of this new moon has to do with, new moon in Cancer has to do with going inside, doing a little bit of reconnectivity with, in terms of like your feelings, your emotion, your thoughts, and what's really going on inside your head. And we need, in order for us to do that, sometimes we've got to do that internally. You know, we have to kind of go inside. We can't rely on those, answers to come from someone else. We have to actually do the internal work, and we've got to go in there and find out sorry, there's like a lag on the camera. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I need better camera equipment, and also to learn how to record shorter videos. But basically just, we've got to go inside. We have to kind of just do that internal work. We've got to search for that stuff. We've got to rummage around in our own trunks to sort of pull up all these like buried emotions and stuff. We can't do that. Can't do that with someone else, or expect someone else to do that for us. We have to kind of be the ones to do that. And sometimes that means we have to go on a very solitary journey, and it can be super uncomfortable, but it is really, really necessary. And then in line with that card, we got the Fates, which is such a pretty card. So beautiful. I love this card. And this talks about fate, karma, and acceptance that there are things that you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. So I think that's perfectly in line. So if you go on this emotional journey as the Hermit, and you kind of look inside yourself and you see that there's a lot of things that you are still feeling very emotional about. Maybe it's past hurts. Maybe it is struggling to forgive other people. Maybe it is struggling to forgive yourself, maybe for things that you feel like you could have done better or should have done better, or things that you're currently doing that you maybe aren't that happy with, the way you're doing it. Whatever that is, it can be relationships, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be anything like that. But it's learning to accept that some things you can't change, some relationships you can't fix, some people are always gonna be a little bit difficult to maybe get along with. For example, in my life, I have members of my family that I don't maybe necessarily have a great relationship with, but I can't change them. There's nothing that I can do except accept them. And even though I've had difficult experiences with them in the past, I have to kind of let that stuff go and just accept that it is what it is. And that's kind of just like, I want to say it's like fate, that I experienced those things, I learned from them, I grew through those experiences, and I have to forgive those people. I have to go inside myself and actually, change those negative emotions and feelings and transmute them into something more positive for myself. And I do that through these dark periods of my life, and I think everyone does, when we have to like really go in depth and go and look at the shit and dredge it up. This is a perfect time for this Cancer new moon. Is a really perfect time to just get super in touch with your feelings, your emotions. It's a really great time to express your love to your family, your friends. If you have a romantic partner, this is a perfect time to really get like deeply intimate with them. Whichever way, I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about like give each other a back rub and talk about your dreams. Like it's not necessarily just, physical intimacy. I'm talking about like actual like hopes and dreams, and like what are your fears, that type of intimacy. So this is a great time for all of that stuff. And then don't forget to set your intention And I really hope that the journal questions help you guys, and please let me know if you have any questions and I will be happy to answer. Sorry for making you sit through such a long video. I will work on my video skills. I'm just rolling with it right now, guys. I didn't plan any of this. I wrote some notes and that was it. And I was like, I'm just gonna wing it. And I've had phone calls in between and I had a meeting in between. So it is what it is. I will figure it out next time. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.